Hi, good
Good
morning.
morning. I'm trying to finish my orange juice.
Oh, you're fine. Sorry, I guess I'm a little early.
No, you're perfect. You're not that early. I don't know where
I
everybody else is.
I know.
Yeah, everybody else decided that it was, I don't know, too hard to get here today. I put on this headset because my other one was having problems, and sometimes it hurts my ear like the other one. So I'm hoping this one is better, but then I'm like corded in, which is annoying.
I know. I always have trouble with like headphones hurting my ears. I like even my little AirPods. I don't like how they feel sometimes.
Me either. And I'm online so much that I have to have some sort of headphones in, and
Yeah.
some sort of mic. So look how lame these are. Can you see how big they are? Like
Oh
they're those
yeah.
cushiony
But they
guys.
yeah, they're like cushiony on your ears, so
Yeah, and it's the only ones, and they were like the cheapest things. Like I know
yeah, you
headphones are
can't even
super
see them with your hair. It doesn't look bad or anything.
but headphones are like super expensive. And I bought this right when the pandemic started, and I had to, well, right when school shut down after spring break, and I had to teach online. And
Right.
I just bought it like I was like, "What headset can I get today?" And it was $14 at Target. And
Oh,
it's been like the best purchase, which is so lame.
right.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I can't believe it's Wednesday. I don't know about anybody else, but Wednesday is the hardest day of the week for me. Yeah, it is. I don't know why it's so hard. By the end of Wednesday, I feel so much better. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know. Can't figure it out. Okay, can you guys see my screen that I'm sharing right now that says We Share Wednesday? Yay, I'm so excited. So I want you to think right now what you're going to share, right? It can be anything at all that you are willing to share, right? You don't have to give us your deepest, darkest secrets. It can just be, something that's going well, something that's not going well, and anything else you want to share with the class. It doesn't have to be class related. It can be, oh my gosh, I know a secret and I'm not supposed to tell anyone, but I don't know anybody in my math class anyway. So I'm going to tell them. Like, for example, someone once said, my sister just found out she's pregnant and she hasn't told my parents. So I can't tell anyone. So I'm going to tell the class. So fun things like that. Or if you just had something bad happen, like, okay, I watched the news right before I went to bed. Bad idea, right? The last thing I heard before I went to sleep was it's going to be super cold overnight. Don't forget to bring your pets in, right? So 2 a.m., I woke up freaked out like that one of my kids had let the animals out and not let them back in. So at 2 a.m., I had to get up and make sure all the animals were inside. So, and they were, which I knew they were, but annoying. So don't watch the news before bed. That was the lesson I learned. So you guys can start sharing whenever you're ready and you can share anything you like. Somebody has to share something though, because you don't want to hear my stories.
I'm going to share that. I'm going to come right back because my internet connection is unstable. So I'm going to get on a different router. I'll be
Okay,
right back.
perfect.
Thanks.
And some people could share that they did their office hours assignment because Marty did his office hours assignment this morning. And Valerie did hers as well. So got that done.
I'll share. My little brother just graduated basic training for the Army, so that's exciting.
That is very exciting. I'm so happy you shared. That's awesome. And where was he doing basic training?
He's in Georgia on Fort Benning, I think it's called.
Nice. And now what happens now?
Now he's going to like airborne training, so he's going like the crazy route.
Does he go somewhere else now, or does he stay in Georgia?
He stays in Georgia for a little bit, and then I think after that he finds out if he goes to Alaska or Italy.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I would pick Italy
right.
over
I think that's
Alaska,
what he's
but
hoping for.
I'm not sure right now Italy would be my option.
Right.
Right? Maybe Alaska would be my option right now.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
And how long will he be there? Do you know?
I'm not really sure. I think he finds out once he's like done with the rest of his training, he'll find out all the details, but I don't know yet.
That's cool. I just put the box office poster information in the chat. So you could take a look at that. Make sure when you get in your groups, you know what your poster should entail. And then I can also link to the movie data too.
I actually lived in Fort Benning as a kid.
That's where I was born.
Ah, okay. Yeah, and my dad was stationed in Alaska, so I lived up there too. So all of those it was great. Loved that life.
Nice. Well, you guys can reminisce about Fort Benning then. I can't because I've never been there. All right. Anything else you guys want to share? I just put the movie data in as well. Some of you are awfully quiet. You don't want to share anything. You're just barely waking up. So you're like, I'm done sharing.
I ended up buying another fish tank.
Nice. Did you get it all set up yet?
No, I'm just learning about how the acrylic is different from the glass. So they told me that acrylic makes it look more realistic than the glass, but I'm just like doing research on why the acrylic is more like it looks scratched up. But they told me like when you add water in it, it should go away. But I don't know, still learning about it. But I got it, um, and it's a 55-gallon. So, and that guy is getting really big, and then he ended up eating one of my rainbows. And
Oh
his
no. Yeah, you better get it set up quick and get him out of there.
like he's probably bored. That's why he's picking on the other rainbows.
Yeah, or he's just hungry.
Yeah, I gave him a whole tab of algae, and he ate all 4 of them. So I'm like, should I boost up his tabs to those huge ones? I don't know. I'm still.
I know, but that's why he's getting so big because
Oh,
he's eating so much
what
too.
I did, I took him back to the fish store and I said, "What did you give me?" And they told me, "We don't know. What? You don't know what you sold me? Like I bought him for $1 and he's freaking huge. Like, and they didn't want to, well, they said they could take him." And I was just like, I was laughing about the whole thing. Like, they just saw the fish and they're like, it's pretty big. It's the size of my hand.
That is
Before it was
insane.
the size like of my pinky, and now it's like freaking huge. They're just looking at me like, yeah, I don't know what you like we sold you. So I was just laughing about the whole thing. It was hilarious.
That is crazy.
But
Well, hopefully you get the new tank set up and he's happy in there.
yeah, it's really he's right now he's just pacing back and forth, and I feel like um with the new fish tank he can have more like he can, roam.
For
But
sure.
yeah, I'm excited to set it up.
Yay. Ashley, I saw your kitty visit. Very cute.
Yeah, he likes he's like 16 years old, so he doesn't really come out much. He kind of just does his own thing, but for some reason I'm in a different room today and he loves this room, so he came to visit.
Nice. I just saw his tail.
Yeah, he's right here.
Oh my gosh, so cute.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yes. All right. I don't know if I have any cats in my room. Oh, yes, I do. I have a very large cat laying on my ground. Our cat is gigantic. His name is Chubbles, and he weighs about, I'm guessing, 20 pounds. He is a big boy. So, and he's part Maine Coon for sure. So he's crazy and enormous. And he gets matted fur all the time. And I think it's just because he's too lazy to bathe himself. So I had to shave him. So right now he has a mohawk. He looks pretty ridiculous. So yeah, if he moves, I will show you with my webcam, but it's crazy. He's a big cat. Okay.
That's so funny.
So I'm going to put you guys in your groups, but before I do, let's make sure, let's see what's on my next slide. How about that? Okay, poster reminders. Make sure you have your team name on it. Make sure you write legibly. We're sharing electronically, so this doesn't really apply to you. Make sure you write the question, which if you looked at the question, the question is, which factors have the greatest impact on the US box office revenue? So you definitely have to use the data from the revenue column, okay? And then if you're on my slides, then you have a link to the 2 documents I already put in there. But let me click on it and see if it brings it up so you can see it right here. There's a lot of words on this document. I don't know why. I wish I made it a little bit shorter. So think it through. Excuse me. As a team, decide which parts of the data set you plan to use. You do not need to explore all the variables. Just choose one or a few. That's what you talked about just a little bit yesterday. Then explore the data by making graphs and doing calculations that make sense to you. Okay. Now, we didn't go over any math yet about that, right? So, but you know a lot of math already. So you decide what you want to do. Totally up to you. This is just a preliminary investigation. So you're not going to do a super thorough analysis. And you might have some questions that pop up after you look at this. So on your poster, I don't care if you use a Google Doc or a Jamboard or whatever else you choose, but make sure both people can access it on your team or however many people are on your team. And you're going to make sure you put your team number, your team member names, you answer the question, you have justification, and you include at least one graph. Okay. Or I said data display. Sometimes you guys might just make a table with percentages or something on it. I don't know. And that's it. So any questions on what I want you to do? And again, we're going to be practicing presenting this material. So when you're in your breakout rooms, if you decide if you're finished, let's say you just examined a couple things and then you decided, oh, we want to, I'm going to share my screen. They're going to talk on the first part, then I'll talk on the second part. You know, make sure you make that whole plan. Okay. Okay, I'm putting in your breakout rooms. And you can always push the button that says ask my instructor. Okay, or ask for help. I think it says ask for help. Yeah, I think it says ask for help or call host. I can't remember. You guys can tell me what it says because I can't see that button because I am the host, right? It gets a little annoying. Okay, and then after about, I'm going to say 25 minutes, I'll be popping in and out of your rooms. You can, we'll be done and then we will share our information. I think I'm missing a couple people. Angelina, I don't see Jenday, and Valerie, I don't see Dom. So you're going to have to start working by yourself, but I really, really hope they come. If not, we will make an alternate plan. Okay? Questions, concerns? All right, get to work. I should have opened your room. You should get an invite to your room now. Hi, Jende. I just almost are. I know you didn't finish. I know you're like, are you kidding me right now? She did not give us enough time. Remember, this is just a discovery activity. This is just, let's dip our toes in the water and see, first of all, can I make a document that I can share with my partner, right? Do I know how to make a graph? Can I look at data and figure anything out? If you answered yes to any of those questions, you're on the right track. If you answered no to all of those questions, that's probably what we need to talk about in our office hours meeting, right? So at this point, I'm hoping you can make a document your team can share. Yes, which I think some people made Google Jamboards, some people made Google Docs, some people made Google Slides. All great. I don't care, right? Do you know how to share your screen? We're going to test that out in just a minute. Do you know how to follow directions? Right, on the assignment? Like, do you have your names? Do you have your team number? Did you answer the question? Do you have some type of graph? That might be where it gets a little sketchy, right? Which is totally fine. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to debrief it. Okay, and I did have to make a little adjustment because we don't have Dom here today. So Valerie was all by herself. Sorry, Valerie. And so team 2, Amanda and Olivia, graciously included her, and it was awesome. So sometimes we have to make adjustments. So I can do a random number generator, or we can just pick, somebody can volunteer which team wants to share their findings first. Oh, good. I'll just do a random number generator. That makes it real easy. So I use my calculator. By the way, if you have a graphing calculator, you have this option too. This is how you do it. Yours will be different than mine. But you hit the math button. Okay, so if you're on your calculator, you hit the math button, you arrow over till you see a menu that says PRB. PRB. And then I'm going to go down and I'm going to choose option number 5. So I did math, and then I arrowed over to the probability menu, and I chose number 5 on my calculator, which was rand int, which stands for a random integer. And then I'm going to type 1,5. And I picked 1 because we have team 1 as our lowest number. And then to 5, we have team 5 as our highest number. And then once I have that on my screen, I can just hit enter and it'll give me a random number. So it's like putting your numbers in a hat and pulling it out. So let's see who the extra special first group is. Weirdly enough, it's team 1. I'm not lying. It was team 1. So Aaron, Malachi, and Yesenia, somebody share your screen, and it can be brief, like a minute, 2 minutes, not a big deal.
Okay, I am attempting to share my screen. Sorry, I'm running into the same issue we had before.
Oh, I can share our screen then.
I don't remember that issue. What was it?
I kept trying to share my screen, but it kept saying that I needed to change my preferences, but I think I got it done.
Cool.
Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Can you see Yesenia's screen?
Yes.
Yes, I can too.
Thank goodness.
Excellent. Go for it.
So we're team one. And this is what we did. So we got a pie chart in the middle. And we found out we were looking at the genres, and the red part will be action movies. So that's about 56.25% of the genres. We have green, that's animations, about 28%. We have blue, um, which is a drama, and that's about 15%.
Cool. And then in the bottom right, there's another pie chart there. That's divvying up the average revenue that you're getting per each of those genres. So it's going to be hard to see what each number is, but for the green, which is action, which is the biggest piece of the pie right there, you're averaging $431.6 million. For animation, which is yellow, you get $321.2 million. And then for drama, you're averaging $370.1 million of the 3 or 5 movies that were there. So although things like Titanic is like up there in the top 3, if you're going the action route, you're averaging way more money than just the other piece of these pies.
Yeah, and then our statistics, action was 7 out of the top 10 box office revenues. And then we did talk about the dramas. Titanic was obviously one of the top rated, and we were just speaking that in Titanic and Forrest Gump, those had the highest Oscar nominations. So we think that actors have a huge part to play in that as well.
Was that it? I'm just making sure. Somehow you have to end your presentation like say the end or
Oh.
that's all. Or does anybody have any questions? Just so I know you're done so I don't interrupt you.
That's it, unless
Excellent.
there's anybody that has any questions.
Good job, Aaron. And Jenday's already clapping, so she knew it was over. So there you go. So you guys be a good audience member, give them a party hat, give them something. I do have a couple questions for you. First of all, make sure you put your names on there. Second of all, I see that one of your graphs is drawn, probably drawn on the Jamboard would be my guess. How about the other graph? Where was that one made? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know. Aaron was a smart one that did it.
I know, I spent so much time on that, and then he's like, okay, I made one, and it was 2 seconds later. And I was like, all right.
Aaron, what did you use?
I like the drawn one more though. I think I like personality more than the computer stuff. I just like Googled in. I just Googled like create pie chart free. I can put it in the chat. It's
Yeah. Just wondering. Yeah, put it in the chat. I directed one team to a place called Create a Graph, which Create a Graph is a really fast, easy one too. So, and I'll put that in the chat as well. So good job. Excellent job, team one. Surprisingly, we're not going in order. We just randomly chose again, and it was team 3 that came up next. Amari, Ashley, and Deshay. Oh, so you used MetaChart. Perfect. I love MetaChart. So, and I'll put Create a Graph in there. Team 3, are you going?
I'm just trying to figure out how to share it. So just
Oh, good. Okay. Sorry, I was just making sure you heard me. Sometimes I feel like then I just got kicked out of my own meeting. All right, froze.
All right. I think this is it. We did it on a doc, so just 1 second.
You should still be able to just share your screen and click on that
Share.
part of your screen.
And right here, I think. And then share. Can y'all see it?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, cool. So Let me see here. So what we tried to focus on more, wow, we didn't really get through all of them. We're going to look through a couple other factors that have to do like for the greatest impact of the US box office revenue, but we first started to focus on like the budgeting. We took like the highest, box office, which was Avatar, and then somewhere in the middle, which was Spider-Man 2, and then the lowest, which was Monsters Inc. And we kind of just came to the conclusion that with the budgeting that was involved, Avatar did have more than the Spider-Man 2 and Monsters Inc. So that could have had something to do with why they got better revenue. Yep. And I don't know if there's anything to share or Mario wants to add to that.
No, there really isn't really anything. Like she said, we tried looking for other factors, but we didn't have enough time because we're trying to figure out how to make a graph. But yeah, basically, we just came to the conclusion that if they had a higher budget, then they were going to have more revenue.
Excellent. Good job. So, and what did you make your graph on?
Oh, we used the one that you told us about, the create a graph.
And it was pretty easy, Ashley, do you think?
Yeah, it was pretty easy. I like that I could choose my own colors for it.
Yeah. So create a graph is a really nice, easy way to do it. I like that it really makes the label specific. Notice that it has a title, it has a legend, it has both axes labeled with units as well as a title. So, and Ashley just had to type those in, but all those blanks it prompted you for. So that was awesome. So they think that budget was a big factor, and I would probably agree. There's only one exception to that budget being a huge factor, and that's Star Wars, right? Because they did not have a huge budget, but they still made a lot of money. Good job. All right. Claps for team 3. Team 2's going next.
Okay. Do one of you want to share your screens and then I'll kind of go over.
Go ahead and put there.
All right.
Can you see it?
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't loading right.
Yes, it seems to be loading still, but that's fine.
No, it's like that was our graph. So we didn't know that there was a website to make one, and we didn't look it up. We were just gonna try to make one ourselves. And
Oh
so
no,
that's
you're
why it
good.
looks so
Um,
incomplete.
yeah, so I guess we didn't have time. We were kind of trying to figure out what exactly we were going to pay attention to. So we wanted to focus on like the box office revenue, like compared to the budget. And we noticed like we were going to pick like the top one, which would have been Avatar. The lowest one was Monsters Inc. And then we noticed that Star Wars had a low budget like compared to the others, but got pretty high in like box office revenue. So we were gonna point that out too. And then we also were kind of trying to focus on the years because Valerie pointed out like the years could have a very big like impact on revenue as well. So we were gonna try to kind of put that all together. We just didn't have a whole lot of time to execute it once we figured out that's what we were focusing on. And I don't know if anyone wants to say anything else, but yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so it's interesting that some groups had the same ideas, right? That budget and then the movies you picked, a high movie, a medium movie, and then the lowest movie. That's great. And then the year it came out, Valerie, that's another interesting aspect of it because culturally we've changed over all of these years as well. So our interests may have changed, the star quality, the reviews, all of that marketing, all of those things could have changed. Great job, team 2. Now we're going to team 4. Team 4, you're up.
Okay, so excuse the graphing. It looks like I've been drinking in the morning, but that's not the case. So we we looked at genres, and 18 of the top 32 films are action adventure, and 9 of them are animation. And there's always some outliers with drama, but nearly all of the animation are located at the bottom third of the list based on box office revenue. And then we looked at lead actors. I don't like to use the term actress. Uh, of the top 32 films, only one of them had a woman in the lead role. So these are just rough estimations, bar graphs, just to show you the disparity of that sort of thing. And so based on the two factors, the genre and gender, um, of the lead actor, we found that successful films are more likely to be action adventure, followed by animation, and then they're also very likely to feature a man as the lead actor in the starring role. So, and then also we kind of discussed the idea of the audience for these sort of things. You get a lot of fanboys and stuff. So, as we move further into, this is only going up to what, 2012, you said? So, as we move further into this age where we're sort of busting the patriarchy, you can see where my approach is coming, looking at this uh, data, that I think that's going to change. Obviously, there's going to be some films that are in there now that feature more women in lead roles. So, anyway, that's where we came from. AJ, you have anything to add? All right, that's it.
Good job. Nice. So it's interesting that even though we use different methods of making a graph, or we were like, I don't even know how to make a graph, it's totally fine. We were looking at a lot of the same factors, right? We had a lot of the same ideas, maybe with just a little twist. I don't think there's one main factor that overrides everything else. There's always more things that come into play. All right. So team 5, right? You're the only team that didn't go yet. Is that true?
Yes, but her computer just died.
Whose computer just died?
Jen died. She just texted me.
I noticed she disappeared.
So she's getting back on.
Okay, we'll wait patiently, and then you can always share your screen, Angelina.
Okay. Should
And
I
then
wait for her to come? Let's do it.
What?
Should I wait for her to come or should I just do it?
We share it anyway, and then we'll see if she arrives. Let's just start sharing, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right, and we can wait a couple minutes, but it's good we can see your screen at least. And while we're doing that, we'll talk about why I did something like this. It wasn't to torture you or anything. It was just to see, can we figure out how to work together as a team to accomplish a goal in a short period of time, because our classes are not very long, right, in general. And that's what we're going to have to be able to do. All right, Jende, you made it back. Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm on my phone. My computer died.
Okay, no worries. No worries. So, Angelina shared her screen for you, and then you guys can just tell us. She didn't start talking yet.
Okay, so I made it just in time. Perfect.
Okay, so we chose Avatar. And this is our graph, and you can just see that Avatar just goes like straight up. But we also had the facts that like this was more recent. The 2.79 billion was more recent because the graph that she gave us was up until 2012, and so this is how much they made now
at that moment. But the graph that Professor Klassen gave us was till 2012, like she said. So that was like old data, but we found the recent profits that they made from that movie. So yeah, we didn't finish though, obviously. So yeah, that's it. you guys see the release date and everything. I didn't know that I thought it was just called regular Avatar. No, it's called Avatar Creating the World of Pandora. Pandora. No wonder why they were blue. I didn't know that. I really did not know that. But I know, I was like, maybe that's why the Pandora music listening app was made, because of that movie. I don't know. Maybe that's why it was. I have no idea.
Interesting. So what do you think is the most important factor in box office success?
Oh yeah, what I told you, huh? When you came in. Okay, so what I was talking about with Miss class, we were saying that in the chart, you notice, if you really look closely, you notice that a lot of the action movies come before the animation. And even if another action movie made less than that other action movies are actually like the #1 genre that a lot of people watch. So, and they made the most money in that chart that we see due to this project. But Avatar was #1. They made the most money out of all those 32 movies in that chart, but they're #2 right after Passion of Christ for the budget, who had the highest budget. Because Passion of Christ had 300 million, but then Avatar had 237 million, so they were second place they were second out of 32 movies based on their budget, but they were #1 who profited the most out of all 32 movies, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's our little chart and presentation, and we're done. The end.
Good job. Good job. So yeah, a lot of you looked at budget. They were looking at a discrepancy though there, and both ends of the spectrum happened where Passion of the Christ had a huge budget but didn't make as much money, whereas Star Wars had a very small budget and made a ton of money. So that's interesting. And I love that they looked up their own data too, because they were like, I don't know about this data. And they noticed that maybe it made more money. And that could just be overall box office, because if they replay it, right, at a theater, then it's going to continue to make money. So excellent. Now, I just want to talk for 1 minute before I give you your exit ticket. Your exit ticket is just trying to debrief these presentations. So, like asking you questions like, how did other teams present differently than you did? Their data specifically. And then what are some ways your team worked well together? And what are some ways your team could improve? And you can, that's what your exit ticket questions are going to be. And I know that, and you can be honest in your exit ticket because nobody sees them but me, right? So if you want more defined roles from me in your activities, I can do that where I say, person A is going to share their screen, person B is going to talk, right? Whatever, I can be more specific in that stuff as well. So be honest in your exit ticket. Okay? Good job. See, you guys are more impressive than you realize. You can come up with things even when you're not given a lot of tools yet to do it. And just looking at data is an important start. Okay, I am going to share the exit ticket in the chat, and I'm going to share my screen so you can, I just lost my chat. It like disappeared. There we go. There's the exit ticket in the chat, and I'm going to share my screen so you can use your QR code if you want. And then you didn't have to turn anything into this assignment. When you presented, then I'm going to grade. So you're good to go. And it's a good thing you were all here, because unfortunately, if you weren't here today, it's not an assignment you can make up. Yeah. Can you guys see my screen? Excellent. All right. You can hang out here if you have any questions when you're done. Otherwise, when you're done with your exit ticket, I'll see you tomorrow.